Pixar's Elio. Now, if this is the first time you're hearing about this movie, I wouldn't blame you. Disney has horribly marketed this movie, and because of this, the movie has severely bombed at the box office because of its almost zero marketing, and there's a lot to play into this factor on why this movie is ending up this way, and also just how Disney and Pixar's relationship has slowly started changing over the years, and honestly more negative on their original movies than their sequels. First, starting off, this is an original from Pixar. We did have this similar problem 2 years ago when Elemental released, and that was an original film, and that original weekend was the worst weekend Pixar has ever had. Now, put on point, the movie did start doing better because of word of mouth, but that movie, if it did not have that word of mouth, the movie would have severely flopped. And then a year later, Inside Out 2 comes out, and that becomes the highest grossing animated movie of all time, for a little while at least. But it was insane the quick turnaround. With Elio though, Pixar has been beating around the bush about it, just not talking about it at all, and what makes it worse is at any trailer that releases, the views are just really bad. A lot of Pixar trailers have quite a lot of views, even Elemental had a lot of views. With Elio, it's really rough to look at, even recent trailers. Some trailers haven't even cracked 1 million views, and even so, the trailers haven't even gone over 10 million since the original teaser came out, and it's really rough to say that. You can tell Disney was putting all their eggs into Lilo and Stitch, which worked. The movie is almost at $1 billion, but now leaving Elio in the dust, they just barely talked about it, and now they suddenly want to start promoting it. Now I see posters and some TV spots, but it's kinda too late. There's not that massive word of mouth that this movie's coming out that like other Pixar movies had. It's a very small group of people that know this movie is coming out. The general audience really isn't informed much about this movie, and it's gonna really show this weekend. Disney has tried desperately with collaborating with even the Lilo and Stitch movie with trying to promote it. Even a few days ago, they did a collaboration with Phineas and Ferb to promote the movie. They are trying so hard, but it's really just too late at this point. But after watching the movie, I can definitively say it was fun. I'm gonna be quite honest, I'm not really gonna beat this movie down that bad, because honestly, in retrospect, there was not a lot to diminish on the movie. It was just simply an okay Pixar film. And a lot of people expect every Pixar film to be as grand as, you know, their earlier classics, and I kind of feel bad this writing off of Inside Out 2 having such a big message. The message here is a little different, a little more smaller scale, focusing on loneliness and isolation. And one thing that kind of happens with this movie is this movie had a lot of changes from the original trailers to the movie itself. I really noticed it, and I now realize why the budget was so high, because there were so many changes in between. The original teaser for the movie, a lot of those scenes are just not in the movie. Those characters are not in those correct scenes. The main villain of the movie, sort of, Lord Grigon, is kind of completely flipped from his role from the original teaser, so I can tell there were things changed. I'm not sure why, but it raised the budget. But the final movie we got was still okay. I honestly believe that what they went with here was smaller, but I can say the visuals of the movie were great. I haven't been this immersed in a Pixar movie visually in quite a while. Like, it has that same aura as you stepping into the land of the dead in Coco. That's the best way I can put it. Not on the same level of emotion as Coco, no. That movie does not touch Coco at all. But visually, yes it does. People could find this story a little generic with Elio, where you've seen it before, being a loner, having your own interests, and yeah, it may seem repetitive, and it kind of splits two stories down, one about isolation and not belonging, and one about standing up for what they believe in and who they truly are on the inside. It kind of splits in two with Elio's character, and we meet Lord Grigon's son, who quickly becomes friends with Elio, but his main thing he's dealing with is that he doesn't want to be part of the army that his father leads. he doesn't want to go into those mech suits and doesn't know how to tell them. Another thing this movie has going for it is its score. Its score is really good. There's not a lot of Pixar films that I walk out of definitely remembering the score, and I feel like Elio's is one that's special, but also will definitely be an earworm for you, and you'll constantly be thinking about it. And the important thing is, does it have that Pixar feel? That Pixar feel where you get to the end of the climax of the movie and you have that tearjerker moment. And yes, it does. It does sort of feel like one of those earlier Pixar movies. Not the greatest, obviously, but it still feels like a Pixar film, and mind you, a Pixar original that has been needed over the past few years. Honestly, I would say this is definitely up there as one of the best originals in a few years. Not the best, but it's up there. It has a bit of a speed up in the middle when we're getting to know Elio and his new friend. That friendship kind of speeds up a little bit, leading to the climax of the movie between the two. A little less hard hitting, but it still hits hard. There were some sniffles in my theater. And just in general, I feel like most of the audience liked this movie. There was applause after. This movie does have a lot of fun characters, memorable characters at that. I don't remember a single character from Lightyear, and I think this movie does a way better job at a space story than Lightyear ever did. I keep remembering that's a movie, honestly. But Elio is just perfectly fine. Is this a movie you need to go see? Honestly, with the congested summer season, I can see why it'd be difficult, but I'd recommend this over Lilo and Stitch any day. But, you know, if you're on the fence about it, I would give it a chance. Plus, this movie really needs it. I'm pretty sure this movie is going to have the worst Pixar opening ever domestically. I'm pretty sure it's opening at 20 million. So that's not good. And with other films following suit, with Superman, Jurassic World on the way, it's gonna have a rough box office. I mean, it'll do better than the Smurfs, hopefully. Please don't go see that movie. So all in all, Elio is a solid 7 out of 10 in terms of Pixar movies and just enjoyability. It's a good movie. I would give it a shot, but, you know, if you're on the fence about it and it's, you know, getting crazy with everything, I could wait, but this movie needs all the support it can get. So spread the word about Elio, because Disney did a terrible job of letting people know about it. So I turn this over to you. If you have watched Elio, what did you think of it? Let me know down in the comments, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.